I've been following the Tristan Bailey case from the beginning. Such a senseless killing of a young girl by a selfish boy that had no real motive, except that he wanted to kill someone. Tristan was the chosen one, sadly, and Aiden issued an apology in court, but not once did he apologize to Tristan for what he did to her. Disgusting. Today, we get to hear the interrogation audio of his girlfriend. It seems Aiden was very in love with this girl and even called her while sitting in the back of a cop car. Unbelievable. Let's take a listen and discuss below.
Okay, can you tell me about Aiden?
Aiden, he was a really tough kid. He had a lot of issues, and
It's okay, take a deep breath. Until you're shaking up, it's okay.
I know that there was a really rough time for him at home. He would talk about that a lot.
What would he tell you about that?
He would tell me his mom would tell him he was a disappointment to her family, that he felt neglected by her, that he felt neglected by both of his parents, that he was the least favorite in his family. He told me that sometimes his dad would hit him, and his dad never really let him show emotions.
When we're talking about his dad, are we talking about his biological father? Okay.
Yeah. But it seems that he had a little bit of a better relationship with his dad than his mom. He had anger issues. I was aware of that. He told me that he really hated getting angry. And he hated doing things that he didn't mean to do when he got angry.
What type of things would he do when he got angry?
He usually told me he would just throw something. I never really saw him that angry before.
Okay.
He never kind of let me.
Okay. Have you ever seen Aiden get violent with anybody?
Yes.
Who?
There was a incident where we went to the South Amenity Center for this thing that usually goes on at Friday. It's called Food Trucks. And I guess he was gonna get a vape from this kid, and instead of, buying it from him, he just took it, and then the kid tried to, hit him, so he hit him back, and he beat him up.
Who was that kid?
All I know is that his name was Henrik.
Okay.
It's the only time I saw him got violent, though.
Okay. What was Aiden and Trey's relationship like? How are they?
We were all kind of best friends, but Trey and Aiden, they were really the only two kids at their school that had each other's back. Both of them grew up. I know that both of them kind of grew up in a rough area, and they were both known for kind of having bad records, so they got along and they hung out a lot. I know they would get angry at each other. I know that they got in a big fight half of the year, but I wasn't there at that time. But they considered each other like brothers.
Okay. Was there anybody else that they hung out with a lot?
It was mostly every day just the three of us. There were just a few people that we would occasionally be with once in a while, but they never really kind of became part of our group of three,
Okay.
I guess.
Did Aiden carry any personal items on him every day? I mean, what did he normally keep with him?
Aiden kept knives for protection. He
Okay.
always had a knife on him if he wasn't at school. He would keep his AirPods. He listened to music to try and calm him down. He said that helped him with
Okay.
his anger.
When you say he kept knives, was it, usually a different knife? Did he have one that he was partial to that was like his favorite, or?
He had like a few. He didn't really say he had a favorite. He just had knives, and sometimes he'd bring one or another, or
Did
I
he
don't
say any? Did he have? I mean, when you say knives, we're talking like
just like pocket knives. I
folding
guess.
pocket knives?
Yeah, like they would fold up and.
okay. If you had to describe any of them that you can remember, could you tell me about what they looked like?
Yeah. Well, there was mainly two that he would have on him, and it was one that his stepdad gave him. It was like a kind of gray, black, like army-looking one. It had a skull on it, maybe like an orange skull on it or something, and he called it Picker.
Okay.
Because it had, I guess, teeth. The knife had.
You mean like it had a serrated edge?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he have any others that he kept?
Yeah.
Normally.
There was another one. It was like yellow, and it was like it was made out of wood, I think.
Okay.
And he called that one.
Did it look like this?
Yeah.
Did it look like it, or is that the same type of knife?
That's the same knife.
Okay. And just so you understand, I'm holding a folding buck knife
Yeah.
with a brass frame, right, and a wooden handle. Okay. So you've seen him carry a knife like that
Yeah. It was
pretty commonly,
Yeah, it was mainly those two.
Okay.
He broke one of them.
and I think I cut you off. You were saying he called it something.
He called one Picker, and then he called that one Poker.
Okay. Did Aiden ever discuss anything to you that would make you think he wanted to try to use a knife on somebody or anything like that?
Aiden talked about killing people a lot.
He did.
Yeah. But Aiden and I had a dark sense of humor, and I never took him seriously.
Right.
He talked about wanting to kill me. Sometimes he would take his knife and pretend to stab me with it. Or sometimes he would come up behind me and put it against my throat and pretend to slit my throat. But I wasn't scared or anything. He never...
You trusted him.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he would also, like, freak out if he accidentally elbowed me and apologize and shit like that, so... Sorry, just...
No, I understand. I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit because I've got a lot of questions for you. Did you ever hear Aiden and Trey discuss a specific plan to do something to somebody?
No.
Did you ever hear Aiden discuss having a certain plan that he wanted to carry out? And not maybe specifically to a certain person, but did he ever discuss in detail, like, this is how I would do something, or this is what I want to do?
Yeah, he did.
Can you tell me about that?
We were sitting on my roof, and the topic was brought up again about, he asked me like what I would do if he murdered someone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what my answer really was, but he would say that if he was going to murder someone, it was going to be planned.
Okay. I know it's tough, but I want you to kind of go into detail about what he said he would do when he planned this.
He said that he would just walk at night or something and find like a random person walking to and just drag them in the woods and stab them.
Okay.
He said that he thinks it's gonna happen soon. He said I should expect it within the month.
And when was that he said this?
I think this month. I don't know.
Where did he tell you that?
On the roof of my house.
Okay. Did he ever discuss any other details about how he would do it? I mean, is that pretty much the gist of it, or was there something else?
That was basically what he said.
Did he ever discuss trying to conceal, like if he was to hurt somebody, how he would try to get away with it or anything?
He said he'd just act innocent and keep killing people, and then he would run away or something.
Okay.
And make people think that he was dead too and just keep on doing it.
Okay. Did Aiden, other than what you just told me, did he communicate anything to you about, hey, I think I'm going to do this weekend, or I'm going to do something? Did you guys have any talks about stuff like that?
No.
Okay.
He didn't. The only time that we would really talk about something like that was never over text. Or it would be like in person, and
okay,
we would just talk.
Did Aiden use any social media accounts?
I know that he used Snapchat.
Do you know his Snap?
It's Aiden Tech _ something, but...
Is it Aiden TECH? Or...
I think it might have a K. But, he has a Instagram that has his Snapchat in his Instagram bio. So, if you just look up Aiden Fucci, his Instagram will pop up,
mm-hmm.
and you'll see it in his bio.
Okay. Was Aiden like really protective of his phone? Would he ever let you use his phone?
He would let me use his phone.
Okay.
He was never protective of it.
Do you know how would you get into his phone?
He would tell me his password.